Holy Mary, Mother of God. Look at that.
That looks disgusting, by the way. But it does look like the Holy Mary, Mother of God.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're at Cauldron Point at what appears to be a
vagina ship. I'm sorry, guys, I had to laugh. I mean, come on, fucking straight mockery.
Our Willie. Thanks.
Truth over fear, truth will set you free. I'm going to talk about symbolism and how this sacred symbolism was very important at one point, which predates the Bible, and how the Jesuits will continue to pervert these things and invert these things so that they can draw power from us and leave us clueless on this ancient knowledge. In Sumerian hymns that praised women as goddesses, the vulva was often called a boat of heaven, a vessel meant to carry all the most wonderful gifts from heaven down to the mortals. Wolff argues in his book called Vagina that by calling this part of our bodies a boat, this culture was acknowledging every woman's connection to the earth's fertility. Devadatta Kali writes in praise of the goddess that the ancient Indian text from 16 centuries ago identified the womb as floating in the middle of the ocean, extending through the sky to bring down creative power to the earth below. The Divine Mother and her boat of a vagina are considered the center of the universe. Poet John Donne from the early 17th century loved to compare the vagina to a natural treasury of the New World. He even called it a mine of precious stones, where the most stunning wonders could be found. But he definitely wasn't the first to see it that way. Taoist sexual texts from a couple thousand years ago specifically used jade as a symbol of the vagina and female sexuality in general. Vesica Piscis is Latin for fish bladder, or the passage of the fish, as part of its shape makes the Christian symbol of the fish. Fish in Greek translates as ichthys, and I might not have pronounced that word the right way, but ichthys, which is an acronym for Jesus Christ. Ichthys, the initials for Jesus Christ, God's Son, Savior. The shape of the two overlapping circles to create the almond shape. Taylor explains this as almonds are also associated with the Virgin Mary because of their symbolism of divine flavor, the pure white of their blossom, and the womb-like shape of the almond's nut. And the ladies and gentlemen is as far as Taylor will go in explaining the pagan and sexual symbolism of this shape. The almond shape represents the vulva. It is a yonic symbol. Yoni is the female equivalent for phallus. The Vesica Piscis represents the birth passage of Mary and the divine feminine. It is associated with the waxing and waning moon phases, the moon being a strong feminine element. Its link to the almond is its white blossom is the purity and holiness of the color. Sacred geometry plays a significant feature here as well. The two circles overlapping can be used to create a hexagram and several equilateral triangles. The triangles have a divine aspect to them already, as they represent the perfection of God. The hexagram also has that sacred element to it, as the seventh space is located within the hexagon of the hexagram. 7 is a divine number. The link between the Virgin Mary and fish is an interesting one. Besides the link between Jesus as a fish, Catholics have been known to eat fish on Friday. Friday comes from Freya, Frigg's Day, from Norse mythology. It was common custom to eat fish on Fridays in honor of Freya, who was a Norse goddess of love. Fish are symbolic of the sea, and water is a feminine element. Think of the goddess Venus, who is depicted naked coming out of a giant shellfish. Water nymphs, selkies, mermaids, and sirens are all commonly depicted as female water creatures. that has a strong female element to them, particularly a sexual one. They are half fish and half human. The divine female passage that gives birth to life itself is flooded with light, a halo. This light represents the divine female wisdom and gives the vulva a sense of sacredness and purity. It is also a fountain of youth in a sense, as this is where water is deposited, sperm, and comes forth the baby through the fountain. Before the child passages through the fish, the waters must break. Also, urine passes out of the vulva, hence why it is a fountain and also a fish bladder. The fons vitae is the fountain of life, or the fountain of youth, often linked to aqua vitae, the water of life. The sexual symbolism behind this reveals that the two come together to produce life. The mystical journey in search of the fountain of youth is often carried out by knights, or heroes in search of its life-giving properties. Now we can understand it in a completely different light. The Vesica Piscis is the passage for youth and holy waters. I can give two interpretations of the meaning behind what the water is. Either the water is sperm to impregnate the female fountain, or urine. Urine was a common medical cure among monastic monks during the Middle Ages. It is still being hailed as medical cure today. A fascinating link between Christianity, urine therapy, and the Vesica Piscis is when Jesus says in Proverbs 5:15, "Drink the waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well." I simply love the next few lines in Proverbs 5:16 through 19, when he mentions thy fountain. I will leave you to ponder the meaning of Proverbs 5:18-19. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. And there you can see the IHS logo on the fountain, which they so dearly desire. They want to get rid of us, get rid of enough of us so that they can continue to, seek their fountain of youth and, keep all the knowledge and information away from us, have total control and, continue to get away with what they do that's immoral. And they do that by using other people to do their dirty deeds. The photo above, which is very interesting, shows female yoni symbols. Yoni is a Sanskrit word that has been interpreted to literally mean the womb and the female organs. It also connotes the female sexual organs such as vagina, vulva, and uterus, or alternatively to origin, abode, or source of anything in other contexts. The Christian symbolism for females was removed from all Christian missals and Bibles by the Holy Roman Catholic Church. Christian leaders did the same. They couldn't have this kind of symbol showing the female vagina as a symbol of rebirth. Now could they? They had to be squelched, even though men's penises were everywhere on all kinds of statues, on the facades of buildings, as well as inside churches and outside of cathedrals. You will note that all symbols are in a V shape with an entry or exit in the middle. So this is what they do with sacred knowledge, which sacred knowledge can benefit us all. But what they do is they invert it and they use it to attack our subconscious mind, and they trap our consciousness with it. And these satanic symbols or sigils that they use, enter into the subconscious mind and you'll manifest what they want you to do. It's how they have us under mind control. They use sacred knowledge against us, which it could benefit us all. But if you don't study this and learn, then you'll never know and you'll always be subject to that. And what do you know? You have the District of Columbia, right where Maryland is, and Virginia, the nation's capital. Virgin Mary. Mother Mary of God equals 84 and 69. Like what else? The Jesuit order equals 84 and 69. Virginia equals 53 and 55, like Mother Mary equals 53 and 55. Vesica Piscis also equals 53, like Virginia and Mother Mary. Vagina equals 54, like Jesuit order equals 54. And Mary equals 21, like Jesuit equals 21. And that's just it. That's what they do. They take this sacred knowledge, they turn it into what they want to, they pervert it and use it against us. And it's too obvious. I mean, people are fucking retarded that they can't figure this shit out. And if new viewers can't figure out the gematria and what we're talking about here, I would suggest you check out Zachary K. Hubbard, Gematria Effect News. Read his books, because gematria is very important, and you must know this. Like I said before, it's part of the awakening process. But read his books, support his channel. That's how I learned gematria. And this symbol here also represents the vaginal symbolism, women empowerment. This is, the Boule, which is also controlled by the Jesuits. But these women, and there it is again. I mean, there's the symbolism, and how it's become this, and you're indoctrinated with it. Most colleges that you attend, you're going to be indoctrinated with this knowledge. And these are the societies underneath the Jesuits, the Delta Sigma Theta sorority, the 55th National Convention, and that 55 number is very important to them. The 55th Delta Squad, and there's the Baphomet again, their favorite symbol, and that's also the uterus, like I've showed you before, or the female reproductive system, along with the satanic ram's head. How they again use this knowledge to get into your subconscious mind. Makes you do things you don't want to do, but you do them anyways. And there's that 55 that they love. And I'm showing you this because it's Delta State against Valdosta State. And look at the logos. V State for Valdosta State, which represents the vagina. Delta State, there's that Delta hand signal, but it's also the phallus. But this is what they do. They mock us with this all the time. And again, like I said, 55, that number is very important as well. And by the way, Valdosta State is a Catholic university. And this, obviously all this symbolism and what they create for us comes from the Catholic Church. And who runs the Catholic Church? The Jesuits. So it's everywhere you go, everything you see, everything you hear, it's everywhere. I mean, you can't escape it, but you gotta learn and research, and also learn gematria to see through the lies, see through the deceptions, because things in ancient times were very sacred, but now it's just become a perversion of their system where they keep us trapped in. And also this Mills Pond Park, I mean, look at the symbolism on that. It's got the inverted star, the whole Baphomet thing. But this is where they were testing the Delta variant. And again, Delta, that's the Sigma Pi Phi and 55 and Boule, and their fraternal order. And it's it's a joke. Yes, this whole world is a fucking joke. And here, Mills Pond Park equals 191, like the Society of Jesus equals 191. Delta 55 equals 69, like the Jesuit order equals 69. Mother Mary equals 55. Satan equals 55. Boule equals 55. And Sigma Pi Phi equals 55. That number again is important to them. So I'll leave you with this last one thing. But before I do, I forgot to tell you about this. The reason this Delta hand signal is so important as well, and the number 55, is because you have 5 fingers on one hand and 5 fingers on the other hand, which makes 55. So the Jesuit order equals 201, which is their favorite number. They use it in all kinds of rituals. You know, popes associated with it. I mean, it's endless. And vaginal birth is 201. And, you know, as to say, you know, they're bringing a new birth for a new life for us. If we don't stop them, if we don't wake up, if we don't move towards a new world for us. And I hope nobody gets offended by the content, but we really need to do something quick because, you know, their plan is it's taking over. They're winning. They're winning as we speak, and we're not doing anything about it. So remember, guys, truth is simple. It's the lies that get complicated.